What's up, y'all? It's Alexiana. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I'm coming at y'all with this question. Was Professor Oglevee wrong for how he treated Nikki Parker on the show The Parkers? Now, if you're not familiar with The Parkers, it's basically a spin-off show of the 90s show Moesha that chronicles Kim Parker, which is Moesha's friend. It chronicles her college life with her and her mother. They're attending the same college together and stuff like that, pretty much exploring their, whole adventure through college and whatnot. And one character that my girl Nikki Parker is head over heels for is Professor Oglevee. Like, he's this dreamy ass, fine ass college professor that Nikki is head over heels for, but he doesn't love her back. But ironically, in the season finale of the show and stuff like that, they end up getting married in the end. After all the rejection and all that stuff he's done put her through and stuff like that. And my question to y'all is, was he wrong for how he treated Nikki Parker? And my answer is both yes and no. Yes, because it's like this, honey, with Nikki Parker. And I'm talking about Nikki Parker, the character, not Monique, the real lady. Vice versa, I'm talking about Stanley Oglevee, not Dorian Wilson, the real person. So I just want to get that out there so people won't be like, oh, he coming from Monique or he come from Dorian Wilson. No, I'm not. I'm coming for the characters, not the actor/actress. Okay? Just want to put that out there. On one hand, yes, he was wrong for how he treated Nikki Parker, but on another hand, he wasn't. On one hand, he wasn't wrong because, honey, learn to accept the word no. Learn to take a hint. If the man is showing you repeatedly, over and 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 over again that he ain't into you, take a hit and go on with your life, sis. Stop trying to chase after a man that's obviously not into you. But, I mean, wait, I hope I messed that up. Wait, I think I messed that up and stuff. Wait, no. No, he was not wrong and stuff like that for how he treated Nikki because, like I had said, like, learn to take a hint. Learn to accept the word no. The man showing you signs that he's not into you. Take a hint and move on and go on with your life, sis. Like, here it is. I'm trying to be nice and let you die easy. You're not listening, so let me speak up in a language that you're going to understand. Pretty much. So, no, on one hand, he wasn't wrong for how he treated Nikki because, hey, like, you ain't taking a hint, so let me speak up in a language that you're going to understand. But on another hand, yes, he kind of was wrong for how he treated Nikki and stuff like that because, like, if y'all remember that episode, I forget, I think it was in season 4 or 5. I can't really remember what season it was. But I remember there was this episode and stuff like that at the Parkers where Stanley, he was down on his luck and stuff like that, and Nikki pretty much took him under her wing and moved him into her and Kim's apartment and stuff like that. And this man started treating her like Celie from The Color Purple, treating her like a maid and stuff like that. Like, here it is, she fixing his dinner, ironing his clothes, and all the kind of other stuff, pretty much treating him like he her old man and stuff like that. And here he is, he treating her like shit and whatnot. And big shout out to my girl Harry on the Hook. She had did a video about the Parkers, which I'm going to link down below and stuff like that. She had talked about the Parkers a long while back. She actually had brought the episode that I'm talking about. And one thing that she forgot to touch on is this. In that episode, like I said, where Professor Oglevee had moved himself into Kim and Nikki's apartment and stuff like that because, he was down on his luck and whatnot. I low-key feel like he was playing off Nikki's feelings toward him. It was more so like, oh, well, she liked me anyway. She got to thank me anyway, so I'm going to use that to my advantage to treat her like shit, which, no, bro. In my case, bitch, I don't give a damn you Morris Chestnut, Michael Ealy, Jay Jigga, or Shamar Moore combined. I ain't no nigga moving in my shit and treating me like shit. Hell no, that ain't happening. You came to me for help. I didn't come to you for help. And big shout out to Nikki for listening to her homegirl Andell and stuff like that and standing her ground in the end. Because, like I said, nigga, you reached out to me for help. I didn't reach out to you for help. The least you can say is please and thank you and show some gratitude. Because I don't have to do the shit that I'm doing for you. I choose to. So on one hand, yes, he was wrong for how he treated Nikki, like in that aspect and stuff like that. And the hell going on out there? But anyways, yeah. So both yes and no, he wasn't wrong for how he treated Nikki and stuff. And my thing is with Nikki, it's like this. Girl, what the hell did you see in that dude? What the hell did you see in that dude? Like, I admit, Stanley, he fine as hell. He an alright dude and stuff like that. But what the hell did you see in that dude? Like, it's just like what Harriana had said in her video. He low-key had no game. Like, you were a bachelor living on your own, which there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of single guys live on their own. Like, you had no game. You a bachelor living on your own. You corny as fuck. Like what the fuck did Nikki see in him? And you low-key were not a protector or anything like that. Like, I remember, like, when Nikki kind of had tricked him and stuff like that, making it seem like there was a burglar in their house and stuff like that. When she had tricked Professor Oglevee, making it seem like there was a burglar in her house. This nigga had came downstairs and stuff like that. You think he would have brought a gun or a bat or something like that. This nigga took off his shoe and stuff like that. Like he was gonna do something with it. Like she said, what's with the shoe? I said burglar, not roach. Like, what? At least you could have brought a damn gun or a damn big ass baseball bat or some shit. Take a Louisville Slugger to both headlights on that shit or some shit. Like, the fuck? Like, I don't get what she saw in that man. And it's like, one thing that I admire about the Parkers is this. I love how they made both Kim and Nikki, even though they were big girls, I love how they made them desirable. And big shout out to whoever was in charge of designing both Kim and Nikki's clothes. They had some fly ass clothes throughout that season. There was one episode and stuff like that where Nikki, she had on like that long sleeve shirt with them leather pants. Like, sis was working that damn outfit. Like, I believe that's the episode where she had fought Tasha Smith's character in the boxing ring. Bruh, and Layla Ali was on that episode too. Like, bruh, Nikki, she slayed that outfit. Like, with the long sleeve shirt and the leather pants and the ponytail. Like, she slayed that outfit. Whoever was in charge of Nikki and Kim's wardrobe department, man, they deserve award after award for that shit because they slayed to the masses. Like, they stayed wearing some fly ass clothes. I love how they made them desirable and whatnot because a lot of, overweight characters and stuff like that on these sitcoms and whatnot, they try to make them like undesirable and unattractive, but I love how they made both Kim and Nikki desirable and attractive in this, And besides besides Professor Oglevee, like, even though he didn't show her no attention and stuff like that until later on in the season when they got married and stuff like that, even though he didn't show her no attention, the attention that she wanted, there's a lot of guys and stuff throughout that series that had showed her attention. One being, if y'all remember season 1, when they had the Austin Powers party and Hakeem's character, R.I.P. to Lamont Bentley, who had played Hakeem, but that Austin Powers episode where Hakeem's character had guest starred and stuff like that, where he was dating Stevie and stuff like that, there was this one guy that had showed her attention. He was in season 1. He was in charge of the Grubhub before Woody took over. I believe his name was, correct me if I'm wrong, but was his name Kevin or something like that? I don't remember what his name was, but he was in charge of the Grubhub and stuff like that. That fine ass light skinned boy. He had took an interest in Nikki and stuff like that. Like, he had took an interest in Nikki and stuff like that. And I understand why she didn't like him back because, the age difference. She's an older woman. He's a younger dude. Like, yeah, like, it was just the age gap and whatnot. So I can see why she didn't take an interest in him and stuff like that. But, toward the end and stuff like that, when he had kissed her and stuff like that, she tried to act like she wasn't into it. But then she opened the door and she was like, "Hey, Kevin, 8 o'clock sharp," or something like that. Like, yeah, like, he had took an interest in her, but I can understand, like, why she didn't take an interest in him back because, like I said, the age difference. But yeah, that was a prime example, which I wish they would have kept that dude around and stuff like that because I'm curious to know what happened between him and her's relationship, which I can understand probably what happened between it because, like I said, the age difference. So yeah. And there was another episode, you know, where I remember, I think it was in like the later seasons, stuff like that, where Stanley, he had a friend, you know, the guy, like, you know, the light skinned guy, like with the grayish black hair and stuff like that. Like, he was one of Stanley's homeboys and stuff like that. And, you know, he pretty much started to holler at Nikki and stuff as a bet, you know, like that, to pretty much keep her out of Stanley's hair and stuff like that. And, you know, the feelings toward them and stuff like that started to grow. And, you know, he started falling for Nikki. But like a fool, she dumped him for Professor Oglevee, knowing damn well Professor Oglevee ain't taking no liking to her. Like, yeah. And another episode and stuff like that, you know, this was in like the later seasons where, you know, like I said, Professor Oglevee and Nikki had got married and stuff like that. Like, you had this man, like Mel Gibson's character, his fine ass. You had this man taking interest in you, take you to the altar. His name was Johnny on there. Like, you had this man taking interest in you, take you at the altar and stuff like that, put a ring on your finger and all that and stuff like that. And he was about to tie the knot and marry you. But here come Professor Oglevee ass crashing the wedding and deciding 4 seasons later down the line, because there are 5 seasons in all, deciding 4 seasons later down the line that you had a thing for Nikki Parker and you always had a thing for Nikki Parker and you want to marry her. And I watched a lot of videos on the Parkers and stuff like that to agree with this. It would have made for a bomb-ass season finale of that show if Nikki would have rejected the professor at the altar. It would have made for a good-ass episode because, bro, you had your chance. Here it is. I've been throwing myself at you, trying to get you to look at me, trying to get you to take me seriously romantically, but each time you rejected me, like, bye, deuces, adios. Like, that would have made for a good episode, but like a fool, she said goodbye to Johnny, and she kept the ring. Professor proposed to her, and they got married right then and there, and it was happily ever after from there. And also, I want to touch on something else, too. I'm so sick. There are so many episodes and stuff like that where people try to knock Nikki for being an older woman going to college. Like, you a 30-something-year-old college freshman. You a 40-something-year-old college freshman. Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, first of all, let me say this. College is not just for young folks. You have people that are as old as my parents going to college. Like, come on, man. Like, college is for everyone, not just for the young folks. Like, college is for everyone. And for those who don't know, if you're not familiar with the Parkers and stuff like that, Nikki was a teen mom. She had Kim at a very young age and stuff like that. And, you know, Kim was old enough to take care of herself and stuff like that. So it was time for Nikki pretty much, you know, to chase her dreams, you know, to go back to school, get her education, get her degree, and, you know, live her life. Like, college is not just for the young folks. There are people as old as my parents going to college. Like, come on now. Like, said, oh, you're a 40-something-year-old college freshman, and what? And she look damn good doing it, too. And also, there's also this one episode where I wish Nikki would have took the professor's advice. I wish Nikki would have took the professor's advice early on and stuff like that from this episode. And y'all remember the episode, I think it was episode 3 or 4 and stuff like that in the first season, called Tie Bow for My Bow or something like that, where they were in that tie bow class and Nikki ended up knocking the professor out cold and nursing him back to health in his apartment and stuff like that. Like, I wish she would have took the professor's advice head on and stuff like that. And maybe they probably could have built a relationship. He basically said, like, you don't have to come on so strong. You don't have to come on so strong to get my attention. And you would just calm down. Well, he ain't saying how I'm saying it, but basically what he's saying in so many words is this. You don't have to come on so strong to get my attention. Just calm down, chill out, and be yourself. And maybe I'll take a liking to you. That's pretty much what he said in so many words. And I feel like had you would have taken the professor's advice early on, there's a strong possibility y'all possibly could have built up there's a strong possibility y'all possibly could have built up a relationship and he would have taken a liking to you. And would not have went down how it did 4 seasons later. But you didn't do that. And also, child, let's not forget that blind date episode. Y'all remember that blind date episode and stuff where both Kim and Nikki went on that mother, daughter, father, son blind date thing and stuff like that. And that man pretty much, in a way, was the female version of her, you know, act like he was stalking her, acting like he couldn't get enough of her and she didn't like him back and stuff like that. I feel like if Nikki would have had a come to Jesus moment where she looked at herself in the mirror and was like, damn, is that how I am toward Professor Oglevee? Is that why he's not taking a liking to me? Maybe if I just simmer down a bit and just chill out and be myself, maybe he'll take a liking to me. I wish she would have had a come to Jesus moment right there where, you know, she looked herself in the mirror and was like, damn, if he's acting this way towards me, if that man's acting this way towards me, maybe that's how I'm acting towards Professor Oglevee. Maybe I should change some things up a little bit. If that would have been a come to Jesus moment for her and she would have switched things up, then just like I had said before, Professor Oglevee would have taken a liking into her and things would not have went down how it did 4 seasons later. He would have, you know, loved her organically. So, yeah. All in all, in a nutshell, I just want to say, like, he was wrong for how he treated her, but then again, no. Because like I had said in the beginning of this video, like, learn to take a hint. The man is showing you signs that he's not into you, and yet you're still going after him. Like, learn to take a hint, pretty much. Is that all I want to talk about? Oh, let's get into this, too. I'm sorry to say, but is Professor Oglevee the only professor at that college? Because there are no other professors that them damn characters talk about besides Professor Oglevee. Like, they never talk about anybody else but Professor Oglevee. It's like, bro, like, are there any other professors at that college? Is he the only damn professor there? Like, come on now. But obviously, you know, like, I Googled it, like, Santa Monica College, it is a real college and whatnot, but obviously, you know, that's just a set and stuff like that. Because notice, like, every single interaction takes place in that student union. Like, you never see them in the library. You never see them in the cafeteria. You never see them anywhere else but in the student union. That's because it's a set. Like I said, you can Google it. Santa Monica College is a real college, but, you know, I don't think they were really filming in that exact college, I believe, to be honest. But, yeah. And also, Harrietta, she also had touched on this in her video, too. I low-key feel like Professor Oglevee, even though he didn't take a liking into Nikki, you cannot tell me Buddy did not like the attention that Nikki gave him. It's like, just like what Harrietta said in her video, like, you pray for Nikki on again, off again, on again, off again to leave you alone. Then when she finally does leave you alone and entertains other men, you act like you can't take it. And it's just like what she had said, Harrietta said in her video, you did not like Nikki. You liked the attention she gave you. Like, you cannot tell me, like, you did not like the attention that Sis gave you. Like, I'm pretty sure you loved that she was head over heels for you. She had the hots for you and kind of sort of was stalking you and stuff like that. Like, treat you like you was her husband in her head. Like, bro, like, you liked the attention that she gave you. And then when she took that attention off of you and put it on someone else, you couldn't handle it. So, I totally agree with Harrietta right there. Like, you only liked Nikki because of the attention she gave you. And I've dealt with that too. Like, guys that didn't really like me for me, they only liked the attention that I gave them. Like, I've dealt with that too. And even back in high school, before I came out the closet and stuff like that, back in the day when I pretended I liked the girls, there were a lot of girls that didn't like me romantically and stuff like that, but only liked me because of the attention I gave them. Like, I've been through that myself. And also, I want to touch on something else. Like, I can kind of understand how Nikki paid for college, because one thing about Nikki was a businesswoman. You know, she did her thing. She worked for Lady Egyptian for a couple of years and stuff like that. Like, I can understand how Nikki had paid for college and tuition and stuff like that. But I'm confused as to how the hell Kim had paid for college because Kim did not have a job throughout that whole series. She did not. Like, you know, her dad, God rest his soul, Thomas Michael Ford, like her dad and stuff like that. I have a feeling that he had paid for her college tuition in her apartment because, bro, like, Kim did not have a job throughout that whole series. She did not. So, ain't no doubt in my mind that Kim's father had paid for her tuition in her apartment because, bro, like, Kim did not have no job throughout that whole series. Like, she laced around throughout that whole damn series and whatnot. So, yeah. And also, I want to touch on this, too. Like, if y'all remember that episode with Kyla Pratt on it where she plays that girl named Shaquilla and stuff like that, like, it's just like what Harrion had said in her video. Like, Shaquilla did make some good points. Even though she was a little girl, she did make some good points. Like, Kim Loki could have been a better daughter to Nikki. She could have been a better daughter to Nikki. It's like, and the fact, it's just like, how did Kim go from being she wasn't a super genius in Moesha, but she was smart. How did Kim go from being super smart in Moesha to being a dumbass in the Parkers? Like, they dumbed down Kim's character so much, bro. It's like, it made for good comedy and stuff like that, but at some point, like, show some common sense, sis. Like, it's just like what that Shaquilla girl had said. She could have been a better daughter to Nikki. Like, honey, the least you could have done and stuff like that is keep your grades up and all the kind of other stuff and help out with the rent here and there. Like, Kim could have been a better daughter than Nikki. And I just hate how in this show, they dubbed down her character so much. They dubbed down her character so much. Like, you mean to tell me that girl could not have shown a little common sense? Like, come on now. Wait, scratch that. Like, she did show some common sense in that episode where her ex-boyfriend Michael, he showed up with his daughter and stuff like that, and I think something happened to him and she had to look after the baby and stuff like that. Like, she showed some common sense there and stuff like that. But I wish she would show some common sense throughout, you know, because it just really does not make sense how dumb Kim's character was. It just really doesn't. It really didn't. Like I said, it made for good comedy, but the girl could have showed a little common sense here and there. Like, come on now. So, yeah, all in all, my final thoughts are going to be that, yes, Professor Oglevee was wrong for how he treated Nikki, but then again, no. So, yeah, that's just about concludes this video. I hope I made sense. I felt like I was rambling on and on and on, but whatever. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to insert my social media handles over here as well in the description box down below. So feel free to add and follow me on those. So until next time, peace out, bitch.